Landscapes of time, place, memory, imagined landscapes. At your own risk, recalls the landscapes you were warned of. Private property. Trespassers will be prosecuted. The fence you jumped, the wall you scaled, fear and elation, the guard dogs and police in the shrubbery, the byways, bylaws, do and don'ts. Keep out, danger, get lost, shadowland, pretty boys, pretty police who shoved their cocks in your face and arrested you in fear. Last night was the first night of winter. We flew a kite round the moon. Loop to loop, the leaves were falling off the trees. I don't know how long I spent there. My mind was racing. I was writing my book in the dark, angrily. I was born on the 31st of January 1942 at 7:30 in the morning at a Royal Victoria nursing home in Northwood. For the first 25 years of my life, I lived as a criminal, and the next 25 were spent as a second-class citizen, deprived of equality and human rights. No right to adopt children, and if I had children, I could be declared an unfit parent. Illegal in the military, an age of consent of 21, no right of inheritance, no right of access to a loved one, no right to public affection, no right to an unbiased education, no legal sanction of my relationships, and no right to marry. These restrictions subtly deprived me of my freedom. It seemed unthinkable it could be any other way, so we all accepted this. In ancient Rome, I could have married a boy, but in the way that ideals seem to have become their shadows, love came only to be accepted within marriage. Since we could not be married, we could not fall in love. Since we could not fall in love, we were not loved. Sodom. The sin of the people of Sodom was a lack of hospitality. They rejected God's angels, and for this they were punished. The myth of sexual license is a myth. The lack of hospitality that we have received in my lifetime reveals a true Sodom in the institutions of my country. Hetero suck, imprisoned by monogamy in the ruins of romantic love, is quite dumbfounded when faced with our plurality. We are the 11,000 angels dancing on the head of a pin. My book is a series of introductions to matters and agendas unfinished. Like memory, it has gasps, amnesia, fragments of past, fractured present. To those who have not lived it, it might appear opaque. Those of us who are living it will recognize the map. My doctor says people have said to him that PWAs, whom he has also treated for venereal disease, should be locked up, as they do in Havana. The epidemic has spawned more hatred. We were locked in prison before it started. Now we are to be placed in isolation. Am I to believe I am the delinquent you say I am? Or do I throw it back in your face? How can I be open and honest if defenders of an outdated morality are not prepared to undertake a rudimentary re-evaluation of their prejudice? Because to do so forces them to talk of matters they are unwilling to address. Yes, how can I talk about responsibility when there is no information on these matters and none of our political parties will give a lead? How can the young express their sexuality openly and safely when the age of consent is 21? This book, you can be certain, will not be in a school library. Youth will be told it isn't normal. Their elders, the pillars of society, will sooner see them die than be happy. The problem of so much of the writing about this epidemic is the absence of the author. How would the much criticized article "Gay Abandoned" in The Guardian have read if it were in the first person? I am maladjusted. I am the end of the line. It's no good alerting the public whilst distancing yourself. I have frequently been stopped by anguished young men, some still in school, who confided to me that they are HIV positive. I'm usually the first person they have told. There is so little support in the homes. They and I have to struggle with a lack of understanding, have had to piece together a life under a great dark cloud of censure and ignorance. They and I are frightened of you, ourselves, and the virus. 5 years ago, in 1986, I walked into a crowded room, aware that everyone there knew my HIV status. Should I kiss old friends on the cheek? They might not yet know. They could come to no harm. Years passed. I strove for the celibacy of a saint. Around me, people were enjoying themselves. They didn't seem prepared to take the epidemic on board, left that to us. We were given so much practical advice, but so little understanding. Understanding does not appear on the drug list, but is as vital as a hospital drip. Understand that sexuality is as wide as the sea. Understand that your morality is not law. Understand that we are you. Understand that if we decide to have sex, whether safer or unsafe, it is our decision, and you have no rights in our lovemaking. Sexual encounters were nice in the palace, nasty in the park. I was once given a blowjob by a male nurse while attending a clap clinic. He said, "Well, I'll just have to give myself a jab, but it's worth it." I am the man who kissed in that Guardian photograph which was captioned "Kiss of Death." If that was the way that paper saw me, what hope had I in the tabloids? I kissed him. He said, "Suck my cock, you have the dick of death." "Let me fuck you." Okay. That fuck. What a great splash for the tabloids.